Good day to all of you, and God bless you too. My name is Dr. Alex British Chinedu Tasie from Ishopo Ancient Kingdom, which is in Ikwerre local government area of Rivers State of Nigeria, West Africa. I am a writer, a musician, a filmmaker, a football coach, a historian, and also a multi-dimensional thinker. I am a notable and a prominent historian from Ikwerre land who is sufficiently informed about the background history of Ikwerre people. I am popularly called Professor of Native Intelligence. So many people want to know whether actually I am a writer. Off camera, some have phoned me questioning whether truly I am a writer or I am making a false claim. Well, I want to say it here that I am indeed a creative, a gifted writer. And in fact, I am the most gifted published writer in Africa. I am the most gifted published writer in Africa. Mind my language. I am not saying that I am the most gifted writer in Africa. I am aware, I know, I agree, I believe that there are so many gifted writers in Nigeria, in Africa. But the difference between those people and myself is that they are not published writers. They do not have published works. Of all the published writers in Africa, I want to make boast to say here that I am the most gifted of all of them. You know why? In the late 1950s, a company called Heinemann Publishers, London, encouraged so many African people to write stories about their people. At that time, there were complaints of prejudice, bias, finding out wrong narratives about the African people. And so there was the need for African people themselves to tell stories about their people. And so Heinemann encouraged African people interested in writing to write stories about their people, so as to counter the biased narratives, the wrong narratives, the positions earlier held by the white people about the African people. That was what actually happened. That prompted, literary, work in Africa at that time. That stirred up so many African people to begin to write. And that was why, at that time, most of the stories being told by African writers are stories premised around their environments. They told stories about their immediate people and not about global issues or international matters. They told stories mainly about their people. That was what the company wanted to achieve, so as to tell the world that African people also have their own stories, have their own experiences to share to the rest of the world, to tell the whole world. And writers of that generation leveraged on the generosity, magnanimity of the white people. Their own was to write and submit their manuscripts to the company. The company doctored, proofread, vented, or what you call edited their works, and published, even paid them royalties, advertised their works, and so many of them became famous, big in the society, and rich. And most of them graduated from good universities in Nigeria and abroad before they began to write. But in my own case, I am that African writer that you may have heard who authored about 9 books without a university education. And make up dearly, I wanted to prove something to the people of the world, that you can achieve what you desire to achieve without the walls of the university, the white man's place of learning. I am that African who authored about 9 books without a university education. And so I write, I vent or edit, I produce, and I market myself as a self-published author. So far, I am an author of 10 books, and my books are more than 200 pages each. And so, I am indeed a writer. Some people also ask if truly I am a filmmaker. Yes, I am a filmmaker, and in fact, I am the first person from Ikwerre land to produce a home video in the year of 2002. And the title of the movie is called Omenali Culture. I have so many of my friends here at that time who were members of my theater group. And in my community called Ishobo, if it is a lie, let people at the comment section say it is a lie, so that the people of the world can know that I come on social media to tell lies. In fact, I brought some notable artists, all the way from Enugu State to Ikwerre land for the first time. People like Tom Njamanze, Ricky Eze, Chris Nkulo, Clem Ohamezie, Cynthia Okereke. I used to visit her in her house in Ababa, Enugu. I invited them to come to Ikwerre land in the year of 2002, and they came. It was a big show that day. That film was in a format of cassette. That time, CD was not in use. In the year of 2012, I produced a documentary film, now also as a filmmaker, about the people of Ikwerre land, called The Nigerian Minorities, a case of the Ikwerre ethnic nationality. So when you go to YouTube, you search for the title Ikwerre documentary 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 hours, documentary film about the people of Ikwerre land. And so I am a filmmaker. What I have here to talk about is the difference between Ikwerre people and Igbo people. The difference between Ikwerre people and Igbo people. The similarities that you can notice, you can find between Ikwerre people and Igbo people. Quite commonly, you hear so many Igbo people. You see so many people who are not also Igbo people say that Ikwerre people are Igbo people. Ikwerre people and Igbo people are one and the same people. And this matter, of course, has become quite contentious, where Ikwerre people insist that Ikwerre is not Igbo. Ikwerre people are not connected to the Igbo. That is why there is need to strike a balance in this contentious matter, so that we can use some of the veritable, points that I am going to bring out here to know if actually Ikwerre people are Igbo people or they are not. And so, what this topic aims to achieve is to bring to fore the similarities between Ikwerre people and Igbo people. Quite commonly, you hear so many Igbo people say that Ikwerre people are Igbo people. Ikwerre people are related to the Igbo. Some Ikwerre people have also joined the Igbo to say that Ikwerre is Igbo. As a research and an investigative historian, I don't see, such a statement from Ikwerre people or even the Igbo that Ikwerre is Igbo as an affront. I am not always vexed, angry when I hear some Ikwerre people, some Igbo people say that Ikwerre people are Igbo people because they may have their points, they may have their reasons. I know also that some Ikwerre people that join the Igbo to say that Ikwerre is Igbo do that because of what I call political underpinning, political underlining. And some also because their fathers are not originally Ikwerre people, and so they tilt, the spiral, the sway Ikwerre to Igbo. Many of the people from Igbo land who say that Ikwerre is Igbo always point, at the language of a thing. You see, they see language as a basic reason to say that Ikwerre people are Igbo people. And so, linguistically, they agree that Ikwerre people are related to the Igbo. Ikwerre people have always maintained that they are not Igbo people, that they do not have any historical ties, connections with the Igbo. But the Igbo say, what of the language that you people speak? What language is that? And anywhere it is tenable to ask a pertinent question of this kind, it is quite germane in assisting us to really get to the root of this matter. This, of course, is one of the best points to use as an instrument of argument. You say that you are not Igbo people. What language do you people speak? And make out dearly. There is what many people do not understand about Ikwerre people. Yes. This topic is in fact one of the best to come out from my series. There is something that so many people, both those Ikwerre people that join the Igbo to say that Ikwerre is Igbo, and those Igbo people that say that Ikwerre is Igbo. And what is that thing? Many people are not aware, do not know that Ikwerre land is an officially gazetted ethnic nationality in Nigeria. Many people are not aware, do not know that Ikwerre people are officially gazetted in Nigeria as an ethnic nationality. That Ikwerre people, Ikwerre land, is one of the gazetted ethnic nationalities in Nigeria. That Ikwerre land is officially recognized in Nigeria as an ethnic nationality. They are not aware that Ikwerre land has the same status as the Igbo, the Yoruba, the Hausa, the Fulani, the Ijaw, and so many other groups who are ethnic nationalities in Nigeria. No one ethnic nationality is higher and bigger than the other according to the constitution of the country. The size of an ethnic nationality does not matter. The demographic status of an ethnic nationality does not matter. The wealth of the people in a particular ethnic nationality does not matter. The earth resources, underground resources in a particular ethnic nationality do not matter. What matters is that you are recognized as a distinct ethnic nationality. Before Ikwerre became gazetted, registered officially as an ethnic nationality in Nigeria, the federal government of Nigeria considered the language of the people as their Ikwerre native language. They considered the environment of the people as their native environment. They considered the names and titles the people bear as native to them. And so, the federal government of Nigeria went ahead and gazetted, recognized Ikwerre land as one of the ethnic nationalities in Nigeria. When Ikwerre people came before the federal government of Nigeria during that official gazette and recognition, the people of Ikwerre land did not tell the federal government of Nigeria that their language is called Igbo language. And Mekao, dearly, I am an uncommon historian. I am not like an ordinary historian. I make use of my brain when carrying out any history project. When Ikwerre people were asked by the federal government of Nigeria about the language they speak, they use as a language of communication and expression, they did not tell the government of Nigeria that their language is called Igbo language. They did not tell the federal government of Nigeria that their names and titles are Igbo names and titles. They did not tell the federal government of Nigeria that their environment is part of the Igbo and Mekao there. And so, invariably, qualitatively, what it means is that Ikwerre is the people, the environment, and the language of the people who call themselves Ikwerre people. And you see, as a result of ignorance, not stupidity, not foolishness, no, but ignorance, so many Ikwerre people are not aware that they have the same status as the Igbo, as the Hausa, as the Yoruba, and so many other ethnic nationalities in Nigeria. If they knew, many of them that said that Ikwerre is Igbo would not have said that. But they don't know. They still see Ikwerre as a subgroup, as an affiliate, as an appendage, as an offshoot of the Igbo. And so they are rattled, they are intimidated because of their size and number in Nigeria and make up dearly. What this means is that the language that Ikwerre people speak officially in Nigeria is recognized as Ikwerre language. Before you become officially gazetted, recognized as an ethnic nationality in Nigeria, you must have a name. You must have an environment. You must also have a language. And make up dearly. So, the language that Ikwerre people speak is called Ikwerre language. Ikwerre language. As a research historian, I have pride. Pride, to know where this language called Igbo language came from. In the past, I visited so many Igbo communities to know the root of this language called Igbo language. I wanted to know where the language sprouted from, where it began, where it originated from, emanated from in Igbo land. And of course, I found no inroad to settle this conundrum. I made attempts, I made efforts to find out the source of the language called Igbo language. I wanted to know whether the language came from abroad into Nigeria. And if indeed it came from abroad into Nigeria, I wanted also to know the natural factors that adulterated, that altered the language. I wanted to know the factors in Nigeria when the language arrived that caused the adulteration of the language. And make out dearly. How the language changed when it came from abroad. I wanted also to know the place overseas where this language originated from before coming to Nigeria. And if indeed the language sprouted within in Nigeria here, I wanted to know the place. Which part of Igbo land did the language come from? Which people originally began to speak the language called Igbo? And what brought about the variations of the language that we call dialects? What are the factors within that changed the language? Where in some cases, some people don't understand the other people. Within the same language, some people do not understand, what other people say when they speak the language. Within the environment, what brought about dialects? Who are the people that the original owners of this language met, encountered, that changed, that affected, that adulterated, that altered the language and make out dearly? I am historian Alex British Chinedu Tasie. This is my job. I wanted to know, and of course, I did not find the inroad to settle this issue. And so, Ikwerre people hold claim that the language people call Igbo language originally is called Ikwerre language. They said that the Igbo close to Ikwerre people migrated out from Ikwerre land and moved out with the language called originally Ikwerre language. They said that those Igbo groups that moved out from Ikwerre land took the language with them. Because there is no place in Igbo land where we can say the language originated from. Which of the groups in Igbo land, which of the communities in Igbo land, which of the dialects in Igbo land the language originated from? Is it in Nri? Why do the whole Igbo not speak the same language? If indeed every part of Igbo came from the same source, what brought about changes, dialects in the same language? I wanted to know. Nobody can hold claim to the owner of the language. Ikwerre people say it is their own. And someone may say, how can a small place know? Which part in Igbo land did it come from? So that we can know whether that place is also a small place or a big place. And make out dearly. So, the language that Ikwerre people speak is officially gazetted, recognized as Ikwerre language in Nigeria, and not Igbo language. And make out there. Another angle to look into is the angle of nemiology, which means, giving of names and the etymology of names. Giving of names, the root meanings of names. Many Igbo people say that Ikwerre people are Igbo people because they bear Igbo names. Many Igbo people say that Ikwerre people are Igbo people, are part and parcel of them because they bear Igbo names. You see, in Ikwerre land, there are names that, of course, came from Igbo land into Ikwerre land. There are so many of them in their hundreds that are found in Ikwerre land that Ikwerre people bear that are purely Igbo names. They are not native Ikwerre names. And you see, most of those names found their way into Ikwerre land because Igbo people, their women married to Ikwerre people when coming into Ikwerre land came with names that their people bear. Many Igbo women married into Ikwerre land brought so many Igbo names into Ikwerre land. And so, those names confuse so many people to say that Ikwerre people bear Igbo names. And for that reason, that Ikwerre people are substantially Igbo people. There are some names that I want to give as examples here. In a book that I published in the year of 2008 called Ikwerre Land, History, Culture, and People, I discussed this topic. He said that some of the names that are very common among Ikwerre people and Igbo people found in Ikwerre land are these. We have names like Obinna, Chukwuemeka, Ihunanya, Obiageri, Anele, Nnodim, Opara, Chidubem, Chiamaka, Chidimma, Amechi, Okechukwu, Nkem, Onyoma. And we have names like Oparanta, Oparamma, Omaramma, Chinonye, Ibezimuzo, Uzoma, Osondo, Nwankwo, Ahamefule, Chizara, Chinazo, Chinwetalu, Ifeoma, Chinyere, Chima, Emenike, Chibuzo, Ifeyinwa, Sapuruchi, Uzodimma, Ikpeama, Ọtọ ntị, Kenjika, Maazị, Nwoke kọrọ m, Onye abụchi, Mmadụ abụchi, Emecheta, Mmeri, etc. There are so many of them in their hundreds that are purely Igbo names. They came with Igbo women married into Ikwerre land. It is not bad for a mother to give names to her children. In Ikwerre land, we call those names pet names. Traditionally in Ikwerre land, it is the aboriginal right, the traditional right of the man called the husband to give names to his children. As I have said, a woman can give, a name to her child, but the name that the child will use to grow up with must be a name given to that child by the father. So many Igbo women, when they arrived in Ikwerre land, gave, their children the names that their people bear. Some Ikwerre people too gave names to remember some of their good friends, especially from Igbo. So they give them names. Some Ikwerre people also, give names to other people from Yoruba, from Kalabari, that are good to them. But there are, so many of such names that came into Ikwerre land. A name like Obinna, for example, is purely an Igbo name. In Ikwerre land, we do not call heart Obi. We call it Ovu or Obu, according to our dialects. People of Ikwerre North, from Igruta down to Omerelu, use Obu for heart. Ikwerre South people, from Ropoku down to Rebisi, Abo, and all those areas, use Ovu for heart. Whether Obi, Obu, or Ovu, they all mean the same thing. But there are names that are encoreal, that are native to a particular people, that you can use to identify a particular people. Whether the names are formed from part of the language, that is not the issue. What matters is that there are names that the people bear that say, this is our name. These are the names that we bear in this place. And you will use such names to identify that particular environment. So a name like Obinna is purely an Igbo name. And anybody in Ikwerre land that you see who bears the name Obinna, when you investigate it, you will find out that that name was given to that person by the mother, and not by the father, but by the mother. There are some Ikwerre communities, of course, that as a matter of proximity, contiguity, propinquity, because they are close, very close to the Igbo, at the tip, at the mouth of the Igbo, they have so many things in congruence with the Igbo. So many things are common, between them and the Igbo people that are close to them. But generally, there are names that Ikwerre people use to identify their people as their people. There are so many names that are native, original to Ikwerre people. And the Igbo people hardly use such names in their areas. Such names are rarely used in Igbo land. Those original Ikwerre names are not commonly found in Igbo land at all. You can only find such names in Ikwerre land. And what it means is that those names are purely Ikwerre names. Igbo person can never understand the meaning of a name of this, group. A name that is in this group, Igbo people can hardly know the meaning, unless told the meaning by an Ikwerre person. For example, we have many Igbo people believe that since Ikwerre people have some names in common with Igbo names, that Ikwerre is Igbo. But there are some original Ikwerre names and terms in their hundreds that have no word equivalent in Igbo and are rarely used in Igbo. For example, names like Hekerim, Omodo, Amabebe, Acheru, Aleko, Aso, Ehule, Achinehu, Albaru, Aguma, Akarolo, Alete, Atako, Awuse, Azota, Ehuru, Ebete, Elelemwo, Eme, Etokoche, Keje, Ekulo, Mbomo, Mpe, Oduve, Ojima, Emeji, Okia, Opobiri, Okwapam, Oma, Omereji, Onekwa, Owuru, Omehia, Wawa, Wele, Wezo, Wobo, Wode, Woruko, Wodebe, Akani, Obaziolo, Woherem, Eguma, Ariolo, Wire, Wami, Didia, Adibe, Azejiri, Ikpemado, Okia, Ekwa, Then we still have them like Wago, Weji, Ohaka, Waga, Elechi, Odo, Nsirim, Emodo, Eleru, Wizo, Nkasi, Wakwa, Woho, Ebeke, Aso, Ekwesi, Weje, Wokeke, Ndamati, Wichego, Alo, Tasie, Anubum, Ayabelim, Wado, Woji, Anubum, Wanjokun, Winyoka, Oko, Ichemati, Ehunwo, Basam. These names are rarely used in Igbo land. In fact, these are the original Ikwerre names that Ikwerre people used before the arrival of Igbo women into Ikwerre land. The original Ikwerre people, who were very, very, very small at that time in number, used names, born names that were very native, that the Igbo did not understand before the coming of so many Igbo women as wives into Ikwerre land. Of course, there are some other names too that are formed from the language that are used commonly in Igbo and also in Ikwerre, and they are original Ikwerre names. For example, names like Chinedu, the Igbo say Chinedum. Madume, the Igbo use Madumere. Dimpa is Dimpa. You can't say Dimpe or Dimpi. Dimpa is Dimpa from the language of Ikwerre. Chigweyaro, the Igbo say Chiwetalo. Chukuma, the Igbo say Chima. Amehule, the Igbo say Amefule. Chukwumeka, the Igbo say Chukwuemeka. Wogun, the Igbo say Wogun. Azunda, the Igbo say Azunna. Achinehu, the Igbo say Achinefu. Ogonda, the Igbo say Ogonna. Orianwo, the Igbo say Orianwa. Orianwa. These are the names that are there. Some original Ikwerre names too are Chigoziri, Amadi, Chinwipe, Oriji, Oji, Abosi, Wabale, Nyema, we call it Nyema, not Nyema, Nyema, Ezebola, Wike, Wabara, Eyinda, Winenda, Adeze. These are purely Ikwerre names. These are purely Ikwerre names. You can find them in Igbo land. You can find them in Ikwerre land. And Ikwerre people believe that these names were simulated from Ikwerre land by those who moved out. These names were copied out, and today they are being used by those who moved out from Ikwerre land. Remember that in the year of 1959 or thereabout, Ikwerre people petitioned the Igbo at the Choba Native Court of Appeal, claiming that Ikwerre people are their people. That Ikwerre people are their people who pulled out from Ikwerre here to Ikwerre to go and settle. So Ikwerre people generally believe that that Ikwerre is Ikwerre, that some people left Ikwerre land here and moved out. You can say that Igbo is Ikwerre. That is quite understandable. If you say that Ikwerre and Igbo are one, you can as well say that Igbo pulled out, migrated out from Ikwerre. Don't say they are small people. No. After all, you call them Ikwerre people, and they call Igbo people Isoma. Why? Which means that they are all different and distinct. So there are original names that Ikwerre people bear that are native to them that the Igbo don't understand unless interpreted to them by an Ikwerre person. These names are in their hundreds. Original Ikwerre names. But when you find some names that are purely Igbo, of course, nothing is bad, because some people in Nigeria answer English names. Some English people also answer Jewish names. Some answer Russian names, Chinese names, American names, and all that. There is nothing bad in a mother giving her child a name. But there are original Ikwerre names that Ikwerre people have been bearing before the coming of Igbo women into Ikwerre land. You see, some people get confused. They say, what is your name? Obinna. I see somebody is answering Obinna there. What of Ojima? And I tell you that these names that I have mentioned here, that I have read out here as native, as original Ikwerre names, are hardly found in Igbo land. You hardly see any Igbo person who bears these names. That is to tell you that these names are peculiar to Ikwerre people only. And Mekao Tiabe. This is the part 1 of this particular topic. The difference between Ikwerre people and Igbo people. My phone number is +234 806 369 3609. I approach history to teach, not to quarrel, not to hate. I am discussing just history. If you have any counter opinion, kindly, respectfully present that opinion. It will help all of us. Don't quarrel, don't hate. Don't do that. We are discussing history. My opinion may not be as good as yours. Present your own so that we'll also learn. I want to stir up something. There is a consciousness that I want to arouse. Yes. There's something that I want to achieve with all these things that I have been doing. I want to really, give that understanding that originally people were not grouped in a particular environment to become one. People moved out. Some solitarily, they moved out. Some in a small group, they moved out. And when they move out, they join other people and they form a community. They form a society. That is the consciousness that I am driving at.